What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here, and today I'm showing you how to beat any level of the Spider's Den with Santa. So I'm going to show you two teams today, one with Cold Hearts, and that's going to be your faster team, but just in case you don't have any Cold Hearts, I'm going to show you another team as well that doesn't utilize any Cold Hearts. I personally think this comp is pretty cool because I haven't seen Santa used for much of anything nowadays. Nevertheless, Spider's Den. But yes, he can do it. He can help you get through Spider's Den. So if you plan to get him through the token trader or you have him in your vault and you want a good use for him, then yes, Spider's Den is a great use for him. So this is the first team I'm going to show you. This is a double Cold Heart team with an AoE HP burner and a naked renegade. So what's everyone's role on the team here? Well, firstly, with those double Cold Hearts, they give us turn meter control and damage. Now the Cold Heart's enemy max HP skill, that Heartseeker skill, is capped in its damage when you're working from levels 21 and above, but levels 20 and under, it is not capped. So man, you can kill the boss really quickly if you're planning to use this specific team for levels 20 and under. Next up here, we got Mordecai. He is our AoE HP burner. One of the main ways we're going to do damage against the main spider is through the spiderlings HP burning the main spider. So that's going to be our strategy here. Next up, guys, is our renegade. So what does she do? Well, firstly, she reduces everyone's cooldowns by 2. Really nice for allowing those Cold Hearts to get 4 Heart Seekers in before that main boss takes even 1 turn. So really nice. Plus, she's completely naked. So what does this mean? This means she is unascended. She is not ranked up. She's a rare, so she starts at rank 3, and that's it. That's where we're going to keep her. And she would work the same if she was level 1. The only reason she's level 30 is because I actually use her in the Spider's Den, and she slowly accumulates that XP. But level 1, unranked, completely naked renegade would work just fine. You don't need a level 30. So what does she do? She's a spiderling tank. Why is this? Because she's so weak. They cannot help but focus on her and attack her. That is exactly what we want. So how do we keep her alive? Because those spiderlings can hit pretty hard, especially once you get to the higher levels. This is where Santa comes in. And lastly, guys, we got Sir Nick here. So what is his role on the team? To cast that unkillable buff over the whole team, but in particular over our Renegade here. This is really important to keep Renegade alive. Now, Renegade is running at her base speed, so she's really slow. So that unkillable buff actually falls off really, really slowly, which is good. So Santa is going to make sure that our Spiderling tank in Renegade stays alive long enough for the rest of the team to do their job and kill that main spider. Onto the skill instructions. So firstly, with Sir Nicholas here, make sure to turn off the A2 polar protection. We don't need it. Mordecai, you can leave him default. Renegade, you can leave her default, but if you want, put Sacrificial Ritual as the first priority. For the Cold Hearts, make sure to turn off that A2 Art of Pain. We don't need it. And turn Heartseeker to number 1. So this is a completely full auto run for any level of the Spider's Den, but if you're going for Spider 25, then this run should take just a little bit over a minute. Next up, guys, got our partial turn meter control team here with no Cold Hearts. Now, with our Cold Hearts, that main spider was not even taking 1 turn, so that would be a full turn meter control team. This is only a partial turn meter control team. So we're slowing down that main spider, but that main spider will take a few turns. It's okay, we'll still beat him. Now this particular run does take a little bit longer because we don't have that full turn meter control, but still, it's a pretty good run considering you don't need any cold hearts here. Now we did switch out the AoE HP burner just to show you that no, you don't need Mordecai. Any AoE HP burner will do. So really you can replace any turn meter control champs for Ursine, Ironhide, and Vizix here, because that's really why we're using them. Ursine Ironhide has a really cool passive that gives him a chance to reduce turn meter for any of his attacks. Plus we're using Vizix primarily for A1 that reduces turn meter. But you can use other turn meter reduction champs as well. The only thing you have to understand about this team is they will take some hits from that main spider. This is not a full turn meter control team, remember. So we're taking some hits. So there has to be some tankiness to your team. It can't be as frail as the previous team because that main spider is not even taking one turn. So just remember, when you're not using these cold heart teams, when you're not using full turn meter control teams for that spider, you have to make them kind of tanky. Now Santa here helps a lot with the whole team, putting that continuous heal up and the unkillable over everybody. But yes, you do have to make your team kind of tanky. Onto the skill instructions. So for Santa here, remember, make sure to turn off the A2 polar protection. Akatas here, to make sure Pyroclasm is number 1. You can turn off Pyretic Release as well. We don't want to damage those spiderlings with anything else than with HP burns. Renegade here, you can turn on Sacrificial Ritual to be number 1 or leave it default. It's up to you. Ursine Ironhide, you can just leave him default. And Vizix here, turn off everything because all we wanted to use is her A1. Onto everyone's gear stats and masteries, starting with Santa here. So how have I geared him? I have him in 3 speed sets. Onto his total stats. So here you can see them, but all we really care about is one stat. That's his speed, and it's 223. So if you keep it around this range, you should be good, because all we need him to do is cast that unkillable buff in a timely manner for the whole team. Now this works for both teams, the double cold heart team and the non-cold heart team, this speed right here. So keep him around this speed and you should be fine. But no, we really don't need any other stats. Onto his masteries. Now you can see him here, but these are not specific to the Spider's Den. Specifically for the Spider's Den, he does not need any masteries at all. So save your time. You don't need to put any masteries on your Santa for the Spider's Den. Next up, guys, is our Naked Renegade. So no gear on her. She is not ranked up, and you can start her at level 1. It works just fine. So she does not have to be level 30, but no gear on her at all. No ascensions. Keep her rank 3. And as far as books and masteries, she does not need any books and no masteries at all. Next up, guys, we got Mordecai. So how have I geared him? I have him in a speed set and a regeneration set. Onto his total stats. So I have his HP at 40,000. I have the attack at 2,300, defense at 2,200, speed 203, crit rate 41%, crit damage 108%, resist 274, and accuracy 166. As far as books, you can experiment, but I would recommend trying to book out this A3. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the support tree here, we do have lasting gifts, so his increased attack buff, we're potentially extending it by one more turn. And we do have Master Hexer here, so those HP burns, we're potentially extending them by one turn as well. Next up, guys, got Akoth the Seared. So how have I geared him? I have him in 3 immortal sets. Onto his total stats. So I have his HP at 55,000. I have the attack at 2,100, defense at 2,900, speed 215, crit rate 26%, crit damage 100%, resist 190, and accuracy 362. Your Akoth does not need to be booked for Spider 25 because this Pyroclasm here, the AoE HP burn, is already on a 3-turn cooldown. In fact, if you're strictly using Akoth for the Spider, it may actually be a better choice to not book him. That's usually not the case. But when you don't book him, this A2 here actually does less damage, keeping those Spiderlings alive longer to HP burn the main Spider. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we are getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP, really good for bosses. And down the support tree, we do have Sniper, so we are increasing the chances of him landing his debuffs by 5%. And here we do have Master Hexer, so we are potentially extending the duration of his debuffs by one turn. Onto the Cold Hearts. Since I have them geared similarly, I'm just going to show you one of them. I have her geared in a Savage set and a crit damage set. Onto her total stats. So I have her HP at 30,000, I have the attack at 2,600, defense at 1,600, speed 150, crit rate 81%, crit damage 260%, resist 110, and accuracy 343. Onto her masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have Flawless Execution, so we're getting plus 20 crit damage. And down the support tree here, we do have Evil Eye, so we are reducing the turn meter on the first hit of each enemy with our A1. And here as well, we have Master Hexer, so we are potentially extending the duration of her debuffs by one turn. Next up, guys, we got our 2 turn meter reducing substitutes for our Cold Hearts. Remember, these were chosen really at random. They aren't specifically built for the Spider's Den. But just in case you want to see what gear I have on Ursine here and on Vizix, we're going to start with Ursine. And what does he have? He is in a stun set and a perception set. Onto his total stats. So I have his HP at 37,000. I have the attack at 2,000. Defense 4,100, speed 183, crit rate 93%, crit damage 102%, resist 242, and accuracy 201. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the support tree here, we do have Spirit Haste, so when an ally dies, we're getting a speed boost. And we do have Master Hexer here, so we are potentially extending the duration of his debuffs. Lastly, guys, here is Vizix. So how have I geared her? I have her in a Relentless set and an Immortal set. Onto her total stats. So I have her HP at 52,000. I have the attack at 1,800, defense at 3,600, speed at 212, crit rate 103, crit damage 121, resist 328, and accuracy 201. Onto our masteries. So down the offense tree here, we do have War Master, so we're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. And down the defense tree here, we do have Retribution, so she has a chance to counterattack with her A1 when she takes a big hit. And we also have Deterrence as well, so if an enemy CCs an ally of yours, then you have a chance with Vizix to rush in with that A1 and attack the attacker. Alright guys, that's it for today. So hopefully you've seen something new today that you haven't seen before. Santa going up against the spider. Make sure to check out my Spider's Den playlist for a lot of new and interesting Spider's Den comps for you guys. And if you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on all notifications. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.